Hello, hello. And yes, I did accidentally set this up to go an hour after. So it's 6 o'clock now when I'm starting, which is my normal time. And I accidentally set for it to go at 7, which is the old regular time. So if you are here, welcome. I am Ben Pick. You're probably catching this on replay. This is Running to Write, where I give questionable writing advice through running metaphors. Or more recently, I'm hosting productivity sprints. So oh, and I'm a little bit all sorts. Let's think here. Hey Richard, how's it going? Yeah, so I am starting to well, I'm still cleaning up the neighborhood between work and now. So if work gets pushed back, I'm still going to clean up the same amount. And so yeah, that leads me to being a few minutes late here, which pushes things pretty close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off a 30-minute countdown for that, and then we'll get another 20-minute countdown for that. And then we can start doing some sprints. Today was a bit average. It's a Monday, so nothing too exciting going on. And today was, yes, a newsletter day. So this is your friendly reminder. If you like, check out in the comments, the description, all that fun stuff. You can sign up for my newsletter. I send things out on the 3rd of every month. And this past month was all about my trip to Mount Snow, where I did some snowboarding. And it was fun. So if you want to get involved with all things writing and my life related, I did also actually talk about writing and some of my progress there. Yeah, but the thing is that like I'm okay. So I liked the fact that I was completely alone on the mountain. But even if I peel off from the regular group, I'm still going to be snowboarding with like other people. Like there still are other people going down the mountain. And one of the courses that we usually warm up on is the course that they train like the little kids on. So there's like a snaking trail going all the way across the mountain as we go down it. So we need to like weave between kids who don't know what they're doing or just learning. And so it's a bit of a hassle. But when I was completely alone on the mountain, it was the last run of the day, and there was a storm that had come in, so they'd shut down all the mountains. So the only way when I was going from basically the north face was running fine because of the way the mountain is, but the main mountain only had one running tram, one running ski lift. And so you did the one ski lift up, and then you had to walk over to the north face where they have all the black diamonds, the hard stuffs. And I did a whole bunch of runs there with Adriana's cousin. And yeah, so then he's an expert skier, and I'm a modest at best snowboarder. So I figured he would just want to do some alone time on the mountain because he's awesome. And we almost never go to the North Face because it's always just sheets of ice, and that's no fun for anyone. But because it had just recently snowed and there was sleet and all this other stuff, like it was perfect conditions. So I left him alone, or I left him to keep going down the black diamonds, the hard stuff on Mount Snow. And so I hiked back to the main. Well, I sort of skied or took the tram up and then sort of hiked over to the main mountain, and there was no one. Like, if I didn't make it down the mountain, I would probably not have been found because Adriana's cousin is an expert, but like there were all these different trails that we could do. And I was just on whims, like going wherever I wanted to. I mean, I had one of my favorite runs on the mountain is a pretty good one. And so I tried to like end up on there, but because of the way the snow had fallen and because everything looked different, I probably got lost on the mountain. You're going down no matter what, so there's really only one way to go. But I don't really have the whole mountain and all the courses laid out in my head of where I wanted to go. So I was just kind of going down a little bit and then kind of like, oh, it looks like there's a branch of this path. I guess I can go left. I guess I can go right. We'll see. And I just sort of went on whim. But yeah, there was no one, like 0 people around me on that last run. And it was awesome. Like the conditions were perfect because there was, new snow. Anyways, I talk all about that in my newsletter, but I didn't only talk about that. So if you want, there were also updates on my writing, which is going pretty good. I just passed 5,000, 50,000, which is a great marker. And yeah, so like I said, oh, also, fun fact. Okay, so how to describe this past weekend? Or no, I'll save that story for after the first sprint. So, yeah, just if I forget the story that I'm telling, you all just need to remind me that I said that the theme is it's a very small world. So we'll do that. And with that out of the way, I guess I can just start right into the first 30-minute sprint, which is here. I'm going to go on silent while I work on my book. Work in progress is probably the best way of thinking about it. Book number 4. So I am just before the climax. Well, just before the start of the climax. It's going to be very, very long. I think about 20,000 words, maybe. And then I'll just have to extend 10,000 words through the rest of the story. Yeah. But that is what I'm working on. I'm kind of all out of sorts, so I might only get to do 2 productivity sprints. I know I keep trying to go back to the 3, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, thank you for that one, Richard. I figured you would comment on it. Anyways, I'm going to go on mute. We all have 30 minutes to be productive. You can write, you can read, you can do whatever you want. It's almost dinner time, so I'm getting pretty hungry. So if you want, you can also cook. That's not like anybody in specific. I'm just saying the general you. Yeah. So I'm going to get back to writing, and I will see you all in 30 minutes. Oh, hey, Ava, perfect timing. You are just ready to go for our first productivity sprint. And you missed me talking about snowboarding on the mountain. Oh, shoot. Also, did I? Yeah, I did post that. Okay, there we go. That's my newsletter invite link. So help yourself to that if you want. I was just telling all the stories that went in today's newsletter, all about me being on a mountain or snowboarding on a mountain. So that is everything. Oh, cool, perfect. We're gonna take out apparently. Oh, that makes more sense. I didn't know if you were talking about making euros. I didn't know if you were going to make them, but I guess we're rolling them in. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So I will see you all in 30 minutes. Let's write together. All right. Welcome back. Yeah, just finished off some stuff and I was copying and pasting and pulling all these thorns out of my shirt and sweatpants. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining in. Looks like we also got Eloise here. So awesome that you are joining us in for the night. And yeah, Eva, Rufus passed away back in January. So, sorry to bring it down for a Monday night, but he's no longer with us. We gave him the best life we could, but unfortunately the cancer kind of won. So it was rough. And let me see here. All right. Well, let me close this down. I also checked and I got 640 words written, so it was very productive. I am shifting to a first-person point of view, so it's a lot easier for me to write that than the other third-person point of view. And then I'm going to do another. I might be able to do 3 sprints if I hurry. I am going to do some cleanup from a previous chapter because I added something now that I want to do that makes what I just wrote more meaningful. So I need to build up in a previous chapter. And yeah, so what happened this weekend? Okay, so to explain what happened this weekend, I need to back up a few months to this conference I went to. It was at the Gaylord. It's called MagFest. It's a video game conference, and I ran into this guy, and I just happened to meet him. We both were playing the same game. We were playing against each other for a while, and so he seemed pretty friendly, and he invited me out to a tournament this past weekend with a bunch of other friends who actually turned out to be some of the top Smash 64 players in the world. I didn't know that going in, and needless to say, I got absolutely thrashed. But he invited me over to this one guy's house, and so we were, one guy lives not too far from where my parents now live, which is also not very far from where I used to live. And so we were talking about growing up, and I was like, yeah, I lived, not too far from here. And so we started talking, and this is the friend of the friend I met at MagFest. And he lists off this very, very small town. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm from there. Like, what's going, like, where exactly in there? Because I was about to say, I live near, so it was Highland, Maryland. I was about to say I live near Borman's, which is like this corner stop, basically like a 7-Eleven, but smaller, more niche. And he's like, oh, well, I lived on this one road. And I'm like, wait a minute, I lived on that one road. And so we started talking and figuring out exactly where along there and who we knew. And it turns out that not only, this guy's much younger than me, but not only did we grow up on the same street, but this guy whose house I just happened to be at also walked my dog. Like, he took care of my dog while I was away at college, and probably a little beyond there too. And so there's a chance that the video game that we're playing now, he had also played at my house. So it was a lot of fun. Just kind of recognizing that we all live on a very, very small world. So I will probably try and go out and meet up with them again. They were actually training for this competition in Keystone in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, that's coming up soon. And then they talked to me into probably trying to go to this competition in August that isn't too far away from where I live. So we'll see. It's the first week in August. It's called SmashCon. I might try and go out to that, assuming it doesn't coincide with my beach vacation, which I don't think it does because I'm going at a different time this year. Anyways, that's all a whole bunch of complicated. So all that to say that I met a guy at a conference, and then I went to his friend's house to play a video game competition. And the guy whose house I was at happened to have walked my dog years ago. So small world. And that's one of the stories that I'll be sharing in my newsletter coming up in April, on April 3rd, so a month from now. Even though technically it'll have happened outside of a month. But oh, it's better than that. I actually host Halo nights at my house where we play the OG Halo game, and same sort of thing. So I have two TVs in my house. I land them together with an Xbox 360. We had somebody else bring over a projector that we land together, and then one of the guys on my neighborhood who I basically just met, same sort of thing. I hadn't met that guy very recently, but I invited him over to play video games in my house, and along with all my other friends, well, a bunch of other friends, whoever wants to play Halo. And it turns out that he was semi-professional. So we have, my friends and I who might play Halo once a year, if that, more like once every 2 or 3 years, and we're not very good. So we were just getting absolutely crushed by this guy and his brother, who also came out, who were semi-pro. But it was fun because I think we definitely had 3 different TVs. We might have had 4. I don't quite remember the setup, but it was fun. And because the projector had such light problems, we had to duct tape towels in between open doorways to remove light sources, and it was fun. Dude, I am a huge kid. Huge little kid. I don't know. I'm an adult with a little kid inside, I guess. Whatever. And that's going to sound terrible, but to be fair, though, the weird thing is that I play old school games, so I rarely play anything new. So, like I said, we have OG Halo, which I happen to play on Xbox 360s because it's easier for me to land together. We have Smash 64, which came out in 1997. We have Age of Empires 2, which came out in maybe 2000, and Halo, which came out in 2003, maybe 2004. So, yeah, fun times. And well, yeah, so the video games is a lighthearted hobby to take away from the fact that I clean up at least 5 gallons of trash every day, because that's less than ideal. And return what I do. I think I return 20 different shopping carts upwards of a mile from where they belonged, which, So you got to take this childhood naive wonder at the world filled with video games and all kinds of fun and sort of, balance it out with people not cleaning up after their pets, or used prophylactics that I have to step over when I go on my runs, and all kinds of other stuff. So, yeah. I think it's, childlike wonder with a large helping of being kicked in the balls by life. So that's it. Yes. I haven't done this recently, but I have definitely in the past year stayed up till 1 in the morning playing video games on a weekend, or honestly, even probably maybe 11 on a work night or something. So, yeah. Oh, sweet. Thank you for cleaning up around the house and the neighborhood. Yeah. Well, I clean up the neighborhood. Yeah. Today was just mostly empty beer bottles, crushed beer cans, a broken suitcase, the fun stuff. Oh, and lots of 7-Eleven trash. Maggie, thanks for joining us. Ooh, getting ready for a blizzard. Uh-oh. Are we getting ready for a blizzard? I mean, it just hit 40 today, so let's see. Nope, it's going to be 60 tomorrow, and we are clear skies for the next week. So I am very sorry, Maggie, because that sounds miserable. Can't hide body and broken suitcase. Yes, that is true. But what does mean is that my clothes are covered in ripped off pieces of thorns, because I'm wearing a sweatshirt, so I'm less careful of my body, and I can see people basically had walked along the path in the park and just sort of tossed beers into the woods. So I sort of step in and use the claw grabber, but I also get kind of caught up and tangled. Huh. Well, that is interesting. Good luck dealing with an oncoming storm. So, anyways, I'm going to do our second 20-minute sprint. And I am going to sorry. I'm going to revise the previous chapter that I had already finished, and then I'm going to work on moving forward because I want to build in this tiny little detail in a previous chapter so that way it pays off in the current chapter. Well, I'm laying the breadcrumbs down now, and I'm building more and more breadcrumbs in so that way it'll get paid off in a future chapter. So, Richard, thank you for sticking around. It is midnight your time, I think. We're almost at daylight savings time, so we'll almost be 6 hours apart soon, I think. But for right now, I believe it's midnight. Either way, thank you for sticking around with us, and I hope you have a good night. But I will see you all in 20 minutes, and I am going on mute. So we can all write together and be productive. So All right. And welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining in for the second sprint. Also, just to clarify what I said before, I miscounted. So I only did 400 words in the first session, and then I threw another 200 in there. So I'm at about 606 words total. So there's that. But I also didn't count the words that I wrote to the previous chapter. Oh boy. Either way, positive momentum forward. So that is the most important part. Let's see here. So Richard signed off. Margaret, welcome. Glad to have you here. And I see you are working on fixing a drawer and or undoing the damage that you've done. Devin, hello. Thank you for saying hi. And clutter drawer is secret at TARDIS. Yes, that is true. Huh. Oh boy. You are going to do 1,700 words today. That's really productive. So that'll be awesome. Good luck on getting there. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Eva, everybody's being productive tonight. So I was planning on closing out tonight, but you all are doing awesome. So instead, I'm just going to sit here and we can do an impromptu 10-minute sprint. That'll put me about to where we can close out. So I don't have anything. Yeah, we'll do one more sprint. One more sprint, 10 minutes. Really, really focused. Get in there, get the work done. We'll see how much we can do. I don't know. I kind of hit a pause, so I got to reconvene and think about where to go next because I don't honestly know if I want to drag out what's currently happening into the next chapter or if I want to have this, oh no moment at the end of this chapter. So I might just cut it early and do the oh no moment soon, which means I could technically finish this chapter by tonight if I write for 10 minutes. So with that said, I'm going on mute. I am going to write for 10 minutes. I'm not going to have anything up on screen, so you get to just look at my lovely face. And I will see you all in 10 minutes. Cool. And welcome back. I put in another 100 words, so I topped out at 768, which is a pretty good one for the night. With that, I think food is here, so I'm going to get to eating that. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Still listening to Lilith Max on repeat. And the mess is contained for now. Congratulations on fixing your drawer issues. What's the food? I'm pretty sure it's Euros. Euros and fries, probably. But I will see you all next week. And thank you, everyone, for being here at 6. For those of you who were, I messed up on the timing, and I will try not to do that next week. I will try to set the podcast to start at 6. I will set the podcast notice to start at 6, even though I did start at 6 anyways. So smoked ribs, bacon, wrapped asparagus. Yum, yum, yum. That sounds delicious. Oh man, you were going all out on a Monday night. Can't imagine what you eat on like a Saturday or Sunday or something when you can, really prepare. So take care, and have a wonderful night. Hopefully I'll see you all on next Monday at 6 p.m. Have a wonderful night and take care. Thank you for being productive with me, and we will write together next time. Have a good night.